Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to Three Rivers Outdoors. This is Jay, this time without Helper Jay, on Dehydrated Soup video number 2. So back in 2016, we did a video on dehydrating vegetables and making a chicken soup in a jar. As you can see, this was actually put together in 2016 by my son and myself. Today is actually the day before the midterm elections, and it's 2018. It's a cold, kind of rainy day here in Western Pennsylvania. My now 13-year-old son, who looks entirely different but refuses to come down because he's not feeling good, is about 1.5 feet taller but has a sore throat and doesn't really feel well today. So we're going to do a very quick video because this has been our most popular video on reconstituting this chicken soup, and we're going to have a little taste test to see how it turns out. So this has been sealed, not even permanently, just in the jar. The lid, the lid pops like normal, but it's been kept really dry. As you can see, everything kind of remained layered in there. It looks really pretty. It stands on the on the shelf really nice. We're going to give this a try. So as a refresher, this is supposed to be 2 cups per person. We're totaling 8 servings. So what we're aiming at is using a little bit of the 8 cups of water. Basically 2 quarts are going to reconstitute the vegetables as well as the noodles. Think we kind of have that measured out. We're going to give that a try and make sure it's accurate. But literally all we're going to do right now is take this water, put it in this pot, and then once it gets to a boil, we're going to dump this in and we're going to let it go for about 10 to 12 minutes. So that's all you're going to see me doing here. Dumping what we've got in there and setting this aside. Thank you again for always tuning in and liking our videos, and leave us some positive feedback, nice comments we like. I'm going to get this on the stove, so stay tuned. Hey guys, so now we've got the hot water on the stove, and what we're going to do now is we're going to try to position the flame so it's, of course, just under this pot. I'd like this thing to cook kind of quickly if we could. One thing I will say, we do have our trusty cast iron here. I don't think we washed it with soap in years. I mean, this stuff is so non-stick. You could like burn cheese and dump it out. So if you ever want, we should one of these days do a little video on seasoning your cast iron. But once the water gets hot, what I'm going to do is get the noodles and all the stuff that's sitting over there, and we're going to get this thing going. So we'll do a quick little check-in for you here in a minute on the progress of our reconstitution of the vegetables and the noodles. Should be great. Stay tuned. As we're back, it's been a few minutes and water's boiling nicely, so I'll give you a quick little shot of that, and we'll show you what we're going to do with the soup. Here we go. There's our pot. Got a nice little boil going. Legitimately taking our entire container that has not been opened, by the way, since 2017 when we did this video, and I think it was January. Try to keep it from fizzing over. But that is everything. As you can see, we're empty. In fact, I'm just gonna dip that little rim in there and get whatever stuff was on there off. So what we're gonna do now, after we've dumped it all in, is we're going to give it a little stir and just make sure that everything's kind of loosened up in there. And then I think I'm actually going to set the timer for approximately, I'm guessing about 10 minutes. I think that should be good. So we're just going to take a quick look at 10-minute timer. And we will be right back. Actually, we're going to cover it and probably simmer a little bit. We'll turn it down. Just because we don't want it to overflow. Check back in just a few. This should be good. Hey guys, we are boiling and everything looks good. This without any more water has reconstituted into really a delicious looking soup with it's got great color. The broth looks good. So we're gonna dish this out into a couple of bowls and then certainly see how it tastes, because that is the important thing. If it tastes like garbage, nobody's gonna want to eat it. So I'll make a couple of bowls here. We'll set them aside. Let them cool down just a tad because this is really, really hot. And see how we did. So this is the culmination of a couple of years worth of soup making expertise, I should say. So here, as you can see, looks pretty delicious, steamy, hot, etc. So myself and my son are going to give this a try here in a couple seconds. Thanks. Hey everybody. We're back, and I can tell you, just from the looks of this, everything's reconstituted really nicely. The parsnips appear fresh. The carrots have a decent color to them. The noodles look insane. Even the celery here has really taken back some shape and color. I'll be honest with you, it looks as if you could possibly pawn this off as completely fresh. I think that the soup itself, you wouldn't know from the smell by any means, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a taste test here in a minute. I'm just trying to stir it up a little because it is absolutely so hot. When you take it from boiling and you let it go for 10 minutes for sure, it's really scalding hot. So I got my glass of water. This is my dinner tonight. So we'll be checking this out here in a minute. Let me cool this down and we'll check back in. I can't wait. I'm back, and I think that this is probably cooled down just enough. Threw a little bit of a ice cube in here just to sort of speed up the process. So we're gonna give it our kind of final taste test here. See if this is worth the effort. Dehydrated chicken soup in a jar. We used, again, just regular noodles. We dehydrated parsnips and celery, onions, the whole 9 yards. We used chicken broth mix that we added into the mason jar. And it all sat for the better part of a year and some change. January 2017. It's November 2018, so we've had some time. Let's see how it tastes. Everything's as tender as can possibly be. The noodles are good. Celery is good. It all reconstituted very well. It tastes fresh. There's a big bite of celery here. Couldn't beat it if you tried. I'd probably pass it off as fresh, to be honest. The dehydrating process is really efficient. It literally removes a ton of water, and I would bet, I bet you probably couldn't really taste the difference from this to fresh after, it's about a 10 or 12 minute boiling process. I don't think I took it off the stove perfectly at 10 minutes. I stirred it up a little bit. But man, oh man, what a meal. You could definitely take this backpacking. I'm sure it would store. I wouldn't be ashamed to serve this at a party, to be honest. Very delicious, very tasty. The peppercorns give it a little bit of spice. That was a wonderful addition. Parsnips give it a little bit of body, but man, this is a ticket. We're going to be doing many more of these, I'll tell you that for sure. This is literally an experiment that turned fabulous. Thanks again for comments, likes, some subscribes. We'd love to get to 1,000. But day before the midterms, we're going to get all cleaned up here in the kitchen. Thank you very much for watching Three Rivers Outdoors. Thanks for all the likes on the initial video. Hopefully this one gets more. And send us a comment if there's anything you want us to do. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching Three Rivers Outdoors.